Welcome to LIB's 1810 Student Success for Higher Learning video series. Today we're going to be talking about citing and referencing using APA at Conestoga. APA at Conestoga is a slightly different variation from the regular APA, but it's nothing really major to worry about. So when you go on to other institutions or you continue with your studies, and a different school may use APA, there's really not that much that you have to learn that's different from APA at Conestoga. So let's take a look at citing and referencing. You might be asking yourself, what is citing and what is referencing? Citing is also referred to as in-text citations. Whenever we use someone else's words or ideas or visuals, facts, statistics, we always need to make sure that we include the original author's name, the date of publication, and the page or paragraph number, or if we're watching a video, the timestamp where we found this information. This information is a little tidbit of information or a snippet of information that tells the reader that this is not our information. Now, a quotation mark also gives the same indication, but a quotation mark on its own is not enough information. So we need to make sure that we include the information that includes the author's last name, the date, and the page or paragraph number that we took the information from. A page number would be from a book or a PDF document. A paragraph number is often from a website. And of course, if we're using a video, we're going to use this timestamp in order to tell our readers where the information starts from. So that is an in-text citation. Along with an in-text citation, we must have a reference. Now, a reference gives the detailed information about the document that we have used so that our reader can use that information and find the same document and do some further reading if they so choose. So if there is an in-text citation, there must be a reference. Of course, there is one exception to this that we will talk about. So as I said, the reference gives the full information. So it includes the author's name, so last name and initials, the date of publication, the title of the document, where the document is found. And the reference is always on a separate sheet of paper at the end of our page, the end of our paper. So if we have one reference, it is the reference page. If we have more than one, it becomes a references page. So why do we need to cite and reference? The first point is if we don't, it's plagiarism. And plagiarism is basically theft of someone else's information. Plagiarism is something that is taken very seriously at the post-secondary level in North America and in many European countries. Plagiarism is often when we use other people's ideas and we don't cite and we don't reference, so it looks like this is our own information. When we cite and reference and we're using quality research, we're showing our audience that we've learned about the topic and we're making an educated argument about it. You need to provide your sources as well so that other people can do similar research and they can find your documents. The final thing is that research is expected at the college level. So you need to show your professors that you have done the research and that you've learned about your topic. So to show you what an in-text citation looks like, I have taken this document and you'll notice that there are quotation marks with the first arrow, and then after that, in brackets, is the author's last name, the year of publication, and the page number. It's that simple. Now, there are slight variations depending on the type of document that you are using, but this is our basic formula. A reference page looks something like this. So you can see that when we have the in-text citation, as I said, it's the author's last name, the date of the publication, the page, paragraph number, or timestamp. But you'll notice that when we have more, or when we're doing our reference page, we have far more information. So the first example is from a textbook. The second example is an online journal, and you can find the information by going to the URL that is listed below. Now, how do we cite and reference using APA at Conestoga? Well, first, you have to go to Conestoga College's homepage at www.conestogac.on.ca. When you get there, you will see Campus Life and Services as a tab. When you click on that, you will find Academic Support pops up. When you click on Academic Support, you will find Library Services further down the menu. So you want to click on Library Services. This will take you to the library's homepage. And in order to find the APA at Conestoga information, you need to click on the Writing and Citing button found on this page. The arrow points it out to you. Once you click on the Writing and Citing, this is the screen that you will see. And you'll notice on the left side, in the drop-down menu, there is the APA at Conestoga button. When you click on that, this is the page that you come to. Now, I have highlighted the citations in text because this is the first thing we are going to look at. When you click on the citations in text, this is the page that you are brought to. And you will notice that there is the basic citation formula, but also specific information about citing website documents, citing streaming videos and motion pictures, citing personal communication, etc. There is also a short video that you can watch that explains in a little more detail how to cite in APA. Here is a basic citation for you. There are 3 different ways of doing a citation, but if you've never done an in-text citation before, the simplest is what I've already shown you, using the author's last name, the date, and the page and the paragraph number. This is often the easiest one to use. If you've done citations before, I'm sure you will be familiar with the narrative citation. For the reference list, you go back again to the APA at Conestoga homepage, and again, I have highlighted the reference list for you. When you click on the reference list, this is what you come to. And you'll notice again on the left-hand side, there's lots of information. General information, information about the authors, about dates, about publishers, about DOIs and URLs, and I'll explain those in a minute. There's also at the very bottom the source types information. And you'll note at the bottom of the page there is also a short video that you can watch about referencing in APA at Conestoga. When you are referencing, it's important to remember that the very basic information that is required in a reference is the author's name, so last name and initials, the year of publication, the title of the document, and the source, where you got it from. Was it a book that was published? Was it from the internet? Was it from the library? Also, when you are doing your reference page, you need to make sure that the references are written in alphabetical order according to the first author's last name. Going back to the referencing page, you'll notice that in the drop-down menu from the source types, there are a number of different ways that we reference the different sources. I'm going to walk you through some of the basics. The first one I want to look at is the websites. When we have a website with an author, again, we have the author's last name and initial or initials, the date that it was published, the title of the document or the web page, and then the name of the organization, and we include the full URL, including the HTTP. If there's not an author, the reference is written slightly differently. However, follow this formula if there is an author. If there's not an author, make sure to ask either a librarian at Conestoga or ask your professor how to do it. The next one is a journal article. You may be aware that journal articles are very highly regarded when it comes to using information for your papers. Journal articles are probably the best information that you can use for an academic paper. And for a journal article, again, you're following the same format. The author's last name, the initials, the year of the publication, the title of the article, the title of the journal, a volume and issue number, if there are any, the page numbers, and the DOI or the URL. Now you're probably wondering, how do you find the DOI or the URL? So let's take a quick look at the Conestoga College Library's homepage. So again, when we go to the homepage, you'll notice that at the very top in the middle, there is the library search. So all that you have to do is type in some keywords here and press enter, and you get journal articles. The best journal articles to use, in my opinion, are those that have a view online PDF option available. You see that I have circled it right on the page so that you know where to look for that information. When you click on that link, it will take you to the journal article. The way to find the author's name and all the other information you need is to look at the upper left-hand corner where it says Detailed Record. And you'll notice that that's in blue as well. So you click on that, and this is the page that you will see. And you'll notice it has the author's names, it has the title of the article, it has the name of the journal, it has the DOI down at the bottom as well. So all the information you need is right there. If there's not a DOI, there is often a URL, so you can use that. If there's neither a DOI or a URL listed on this page, then you don't need to worry about including it. And please don't make one up. Just for your information, a DOI is the digital object image. This is a number that is used for more recent documents that are published online. And it's the way of keeping track of the documents, and each document has its own unique number. Let's go back to referencing again. And when we look at books, these are probably the easiest to do because again, all you need is the author's last name and initials, the year of publication, the title of the book, and the publisher. If you've gotten it online, then of course you need to include a DOI or a URL as well. And the Conestoga College Library has many ebooks available. You may decide that you want to use some course material. So again, when you go to the Citing and Referencing or the APA at Conestoga College webpage, the referencing site shows you how to reference course material. And it also tells you how to reference a streaming video. There are lots more bits of information here, so take some time to explore and see how to reference these different sources. Finally, I want to talk about the exception. And the exception to this rule is personal communication. So class discussions, interviews, email, guest speakers that are in your class. These are things that have not been published before. And so therefore, the only thing that you need to do is have an in-text citation. There is no reference because there is no record of these. So when you are using personal communication, this is the only time that you will have a citation without a linked reference. So some final points to remember is, first of all, when you're writing, remember to use APA at Conestoga. And always cite and reference the sources you use in your paper. No citing and no referencing is considered plagiarism, which is an academic offense, and there are serious consequences to it. The simplest and the most straightforward is that you might just fail the assignment. The worst is that you can be expelled from the college. So please make sure that you carefully follow the citing and referencing guidelines that you see here. I hope this helps, and good luck with your journey with citing and referencing.